Good morning, happy Friday. I hope you've had a fantastic week and are ready for this weekend. I know I've been hitting a pretty good pace and I am ready for this weekend for sure. A little reprieve, a little reset. But anyway, I was thinking about, there's periods of life that we go through and that we really need to cling to certain characteristics of God. And mine is, this last couple of weeks, is the faithfulness of God, that God is faithful and we don't have to wonder if there's going to be something that's going to change, or, if he's going to his character is going to change, or if the way he operates is going to change, right? And then I was also thinking, I have a girlfriend who's prepping for a marathon. I'm not sure why you would do that to yourself, but I am not a runner. I never have been. But it got me thinking about, the race that we run as a Christian. And in Hebrews 12:1-2, it says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and sin which clings to us so closely, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, to run our race that God has ordained for us, looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God." And I just really looked at that, especially verse 2, when it says, looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith. I'm sure as in a race, or when you're competing, you come to those points where you're just like, you don't know if you have anything left, or you're feeling not on top of the world. Like sometimes when you start your competition, you're all fired up, ready to go, right? But you get midway and you're just like, woo, this is getting tough. And I like how he says in here, looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith. We don't have to lean on our own strength. We don't have to lean on our own knowledge, right? We can lean into the faithfulness of God. In Deuteronomy 7:9, it says, "Know therefore that the Lord your God is God, the faithful God, who keeps the covenant and steadfast love with those who love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations." It's not something that's going to go away. And then I was also reminded, that God is always with us. He never leaves us or forsakes us. And it says it a few times throughout the Bible, but we're just going to point to a few. Deuteronomy 31:6-8, it says, verse 6, "Be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread of them. For it is the Lord your God who goes with you. He will not leave you or forsake you." And you skip down to verse 8, it says, "It is the Lord who goes before you. He will be with you. He will not leave you or forsake you. Do not fear or be dismayed." And those two pieces of scripture are within just a little short passage, so I think God is really trying to make a point there. In Joshua 1:9, "Have I not commanded you, be strong and courageous, do not be frightened and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." And then we're going to jump into Psalms. Can always find encouragement in Psalms. 33:4, "For the word of the Lord is upright, and all his work is done in faithfulness." Just reminding us of the faithfulness of God. Psalm 90, verse 1 and 4, "He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will abide in the shadow of the Almighty. He will cover you with his pinions, and under his wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness is a shield and a buckler." We can find our refuge in him, and we can just lean into that faithfulness of God, that he won't leave us or forsake us, and he's unchanging. I was thinking about that old hymn, "Great is thy faithfulness," and what beautiful words those are. "Great is thy faithfulness, O God, my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee." I'm not going to change on you. I'm not going to... and it continues, "Thou changest not, thy compassions, they fail not." He's not going to lose his heart for us. "As thou hast been, thou forever will be. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand has provided. As thou hast been, thou forever will be." And it's a lot of King James lingo there, but it's such a great message to remind us that, our God is faithful. He's not changing. His compassions, his mercies are not failing. They're new every day. And I just really cling to that. And the verse I would just like you to lean into, or I'm leaning into, maybe hopefully this helps somebody too, is Hebrews 10:23. And it said, "Let us hold fast the confession of our hope without wavering, for he who promised is faithful." Even when we're not feeling it, even when we're not feeling like we're ready to rock and start this competition or this race of life, or even when the storms may arise and we're not sure we can push on, we can hold fast to the confession of our hope. We can hold fast to Jesus Christ, his steadfastness, his faithfulness, that he will never leave us or forsake us, because he who promised is faithful. And I just pray that's an encouraging word to somebody today, that we can lean into the faithfulness of God and just depend on him. And I just pray that you have a blessed day. You keep fighting the good fight, and Lord willing, we'll see you on Monday. God bless.